Hello everyone. It's been a couple years that I've posted anything on YouTube. The last video that I did was about the exhaust pressure sensor and the DPF sensor change on a Mazda CX-5 diesel version. So we had a very difficult winter here where I live, and in the spring, we had a lot of ice storms and stuff like that, and it's the front of this car was completely frozen up and stuff like that. Got some codes at that point. I wasn't so worried about that, but once everything warmed up, those codes kept coming back. So what happened is that there is no limp mode with this thing. I guess with the upgraded exhaust pressure sensor, what I did get is TPMS and SCBS warnings, ABS warnings, the SAS module, which is actually ABS control module in different terms, but no limp mode. I was really baffled because they kept coming back. I kept resetting them on my scanner. They kept coming back. So I had a consultation with the Mazda dealer here locally, and he was advising that maybe it's the SAS module. So I had codes from ABS and from SAS ABS module. So we were trying to figure those out. So what I'm talking about is the module over here, or actually the pressure sensor over here, and the DPF sensor over there. I got ABS codes, which are right here. ABS module is down there. I was baffled because I wasn't sure that that's actually the problem. So what I did is I checked the ABS module connector, checked the ECU connectors, lubricated them, blew them out. There was some dirt in there, but they're not the issue. Checked the grounding on the battery. Everything else that you can imagine that was related to this thing. There was also talk about a grounding thing that I will show you here. This is the passenger side front. So the grounding post is behind the ABS unit in this car. The Mazda dealer service guy was telling me that maybe there's a bad grounding or something like this in this car. There's quite a few grounding spots in Japanese cars. So what you do is you remove all that, the plastic things, open up the cover from there, and you can access behind the ABS unit over here. There's going to be a steel bar that's going to come like that from the frame towards the motor, and you have grounding spots over there that are pretty hard to get to. I went and checked them, sandpapered everything, cleaned them up, put some contact enhancer there, but the codes kept coming back. So here is a airbag control unit that the dealership was saying that maybe was at fault. I bought this in eBay for about $100, but if this was the fault, it would take you over $1,000 or euros to buy this and then have it programmed by the dealership. The dealership guy was kind enough to check this out for me, put this in the car, said, oh no, there's something wrong with this, the codes are not clearing and stuff like that. So then we were discussing, is it the ABS module? Is it the airbag module? What is it? So at this point I was getting frustrated, really frustrated, because I didn't drive the car for about a month and a half too much. There was a point where I was driving it with my scanner, clearing codes as I drive, everything else. Sometimes there were 4 codes, then there were 6 codes, then there were 10 codes. So all of a sudden my DPF light lights up and informs me of the DPF being particulates are too high. So I was thinking, okay, maybe this is the thing. So I did not want to replace the airbag control unit. I did not want to get involved with the ABS because I didn't believe that was the cause. And from now, from at least for now, it looks like I was correct by not doing that. So what I did instead is sent my car to a DPF cleaning service where they actually removed the DPF filter from this car. Trust me, you cannot do this at home unless you have complete equipment, lift and everything else. You can have good access to this, because based on their information, the estimate for the removal of the DPF filter from this car was 2 hours. It actually took 3 to 4 hours. You have to remove the front bumper. You have to drop the front assembly on this car. This is a 4-wheel drive. Maybe in a 2-wheel drive it's a little bit easier, and even after that you can just barely squeeze out the DPF filter for cleaning. So if you want to get something done that's going to help you, I think the DPF on this car is the exhaust pressure sensor is kind of like the central nervous system of this car. What it does is it actually protects the owner and everything else, but it's kind of interesting that they send codes to different places from something like that. So the issue pretty much in my case was the DPF being totally blocked, which sent ABS, SCBS, TBMS, airbag control module things in every direction. So the DPF company that did this gave me the results, and the results are amazing. That thing was completely blocked. Now it's open and there's no codes anywhere to be seen, and I don't think I will get any in the near future. So do yourself a favor. According to this DPF company that did this, top of the line, has all the certificates for doing this. Their advice is that do not try to clean the DPF yourself. It just doesn't. It might work in some cases, but it's not going to work in the long run. So it's going to be a little bit more expensive for the removal and the actual professional cleaning of the DPF filter. But from 80,000 miles to 120,000 miles, you will face this with any diesel engine that has a DPF filter in it. So it's not a problem specific to Mazda, but it's a specific problem to DPF filtered diesel engines. So I'm happy with this result. I will keep you posted on this, but be mindful of these things. So do not spend money on trying to fix ABS or airbag modules or this and that, or cameras or something like that. All roads lead to the DPF in the Mazda 2.2 SKYAKTIV diesel engine. So start from there, work your way back, especially if you have, already 80,000 to 120,000 miles, depending on your conditions, depending on how you change your oils, and, the quality of your diesel. So a couple of tips from the company that did the DPF cleaning on mine is, number one, do not try to clean it yourself. Number two, they will get blocked at some point of time, and they need professional cleaning when it is actually removed and professionally cleaned. Change your oils more than often and flush your engine. That's, there's different places where people say it's not okay, but I've been doing that for 30 years on all my cars, whether they're diesel or gasoline. Flushing your engine with, engine flush helps you get all the crap out of the engine. And I've done it on this one, and she seems very happy at the moment. And then air filter, for example, K&N filter for better airflow in this. Check the map sensor, which is under here. You can get it out from there really easy. That will tell you how blocked or clogged your engine is. And one more thing, I've seen videos where they actually disassemble all this here and do the decarbonization. I think it's a good idea. I'm not going to recommend against it, but the DPF people told me that in my case, once again, I'm not an expert on this, but I'm just trying to help you out here. The DPF cleaning place said that there's no need to do that, once the DPF is actually flowing. So the regeneration is actually going to take over here. And to my surprise, when I just did an oil change in this car, the map filter, or map sensor, not to be confused by MAF sensor here, this was actually clean this time. So what can I say? I'm just trying to help everybody out here. There's no showing how it's done or something like that. I'm just telling you what happened in the late spring after a difficult winter. The DPF, all roads lead to the DPF. So in this case, at least in my case, that's what it was. If you have other issues with the car, I can't really comment on those. But at the moment, if you have a diesel 2.2 Mazda, I think if you have 80 to 120,000 miles or 150,000 kilometers like I have in mine, most likely you will have problems with your DPF. So happy motoring to everybody, and have a great summer.